Big buddy. Want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi to everybody out there in YouTube land? You want to say hi? Go say hi and look at the camera. Look at the camera, say hi. Hey everyone, Mr. Bentley and I are back again. This is Lil K Artistry, and Mr. Bentley seemed to be such a hit in my other videos, I thought I would bring him on first thing and let you all say hi to him. This is my little buddy. He is a Chiweenie, so he is part Dachshund and part Chihuahua, right? And his name is Mr. Bentley. He's my little darling. Can I have kisses? Kisses? Thanks, buddy. Okay, we're gonna let him down. And you go over and lay down in your bed? Yeah? You could go lay down in your beddy? Okay, go lay down in your beddy. Go on out and lay down. I love it when they do the little head tilt thing. It's so cute. So welcome back. I'm gonna grab some gloves here and I'm gonna prepare to do another painting for you all today. Actually, it's for me, but I'm gonna let you guys watch. So welcome back. I appreciate you coming back. If you are a subscriber and you're returning to my channel, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. I have a bunch of things in the works. This is a abstract cellism piece because I'm feeling in the mood. And I'm also going to be doing some more of my watercolor abstract blooms and revealing that very simple pouring medium for that one coming up. And this is kind of a personal one for me today, and I wanted to just kind of come on here and do, I don't think the video will be very long. This doesn't typically take very long, this style of art, but it's so soothing for my soul. I just love it. So I'm going to be doing, like I said, abstract cellism. I'm going to be doing a blue and white piece today. And I'm hoping to get some of those big boulder cells, but I don't know if I will or not. We'll kind of wait and see how it goes. So thank you for joining me. If you're a new subscriber, thanks for coming on. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I am really enjoying the community. Those of you who have subscribed and who are commenting and following and watching the videos, it's so enjoyable for me to come on every day and read your comments and reply to them. I reply to as many as I see. I try and get to all of them. So thank you so much for that. Some of you are taking some of my pouring mediums and you're trying them and you're having great success. Your art is beautiful. And some of you have made my spinner, and this spinner DIY is back in video 89, and my canvas prep is 91 if you want to go back and see those videos. I'll be doing some updated ones too, but for now, that's those. So thank you again, thank you. I can't say it enough. It feels like thank you is not a strong enough word, but I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. I wanted to share with you a little bit about why I am doing what I'm doing. Some of you know, as you've seen some of my videos, you've been following along since the very beginning, that art and painting started out as my therapy. I'm not an artist. I'm not trained as an artist. I'm 54 years old, and the last time I had any artistic training was in high school with Mrs. Tarbox, and that was a couple of minutes ago. I graduated in 1990, so that'll tell you how long ago. That was in the last century. Well, that makes me feel really old. Anyway, so I don't have any official artistic training. I did not go to art school, but for the last several years I have been in art school. I feel like learning and watching and relearning and rewatching all the fantastic creators and artists that are out there. I've learned so many different styles of art. This is just one of them. Abstract cellism, this is why this is personal to me today. Whenever anything happens in my life, and I have ADD and I have OCD and I have childhood trauma and recent trauma from a very traumatic experience that I went through for a couple of years, and there's a lot of just stuff. So often, and maybe some of you can relate, and if you can relate, do comment, and I'll know that I'm not alone out there who can commiserate. I tend to retreat into myself a lot. Some people go outward, and I tend to retreat within myself, which is probably why you've noticed a lot of the videos that I've been posting lately have not been showing me. It's just been music and the art. Some of those are older videos, some of them are newer ones. But I do tend to retreat kind of within myself when I'm dealing with something, or when something comes up, or if something happens and I feel really challenged and that trauma response comes back. And I don't like to spread the negative if I'm not in a good mood, or if I'm not good around people, or if I'm feeling overwhelmed, or if I feel like I'm putting out negativity. I don't like to show my face. I like to stay away and, like I said, kind of go in myself. And I come in here and I do my art, and I'm just really quiet, and I kind of let things happen. So if you're like that, let me know. Typically, I think, especially for people who are as sensitive as I am, and I am empathic, not that I can read minds, but I am an empath in that the things that happen to the people around me, I tend to feel it very strongly. And I think that's a product of my childhood and my trauma that I had there. Always trying to make everyone happy and never paying attention to how I feel. But I'm learning to be better at that, which is why I tend to retreat inward. So today, this is actually me coming out after having retreated for a few days, almost a week now, and back into the light, as it were. So this is kind of, the blues and the purples are my favorites. And the blue always reminds me of the sky and the clouds, and it's just so beautiful. I just love it. So that's what this is kind of personal to me today, but you all are kind of along to enjoy the process with me. I've also had a couple of people who have asked me, so I'm going to answer the question on the video now, why I go so slowly, especially with this process. Instead of just dumping the paint on the canvas, why do I squirt it out? Why do I take so much time? And some of you fast forward over that part, which is fine. That's completely your choice. But this is a process. And the process is what is so cathartic about it, which is what is so enjoyable to me, is deliberately paying attention to the paint and what it's doing on the canvas and how it's acting and which colors I want to put on next and exactly where I'm going to drizzle it on the canvas. It's not just splattering things around and hoping. There's actually a method to it. So that's an answer to that question. That's why I go slowly. That's why I don't just dump it in there and tilt it and spin it and voila, 2 minutes later you have a painting. This is my way of doing it. So I like the process. So that's the long answer. Okay, today is blue and white with a black top layer. And I've thought about this a little bit. I recently have been having very vivid dreams, and I had a dream about autumn the other night, and the painting that I actually saw myself creating, I'm quite scared to do it because I think I'm not going to be able to do it. It's a totally different technique that I've never done before. And it uses your hands instead of a hairdryer or a paintbrush or any, there's no tools except your hands. So I haven't tried it yet, but who knows? I might. I think I'm going to have to, because every time I dream of a painting and then I do it, it comes out exactly as I dreamed it, or sometimes even better. So I'm going to start with a base of titanium white. This is not house paint. This is my pouring medium with titanium white. This is not out of the jar house paint. There are some that I do like that. The recent ones that you have been seeing with the abstract watercolor blooms, those do start with a base of a puddle in the middle of house paint. That's the foundation. This foundation is just titanium white, and these are all fluid, except I have two here. I'm sorry, three. This little piggy Blue Eyes, this little piggy Billabong, and this little piggy Sapphire. Those are the only three that are not golden fluid. These are the golden fluid acrylics here, and they are fluid, they're liquidy. They're not like a tube paint or like the jars, which is why you'll notice that this is a fairly thin consistency of paint that I'm putting on here, because these are the golden fluid acrylics. And the medium that I use, that I mixed them with, is also fairly thin. So I don't have to water it down with water or anything. It's all medium and paint. This is one of the reasons why I love the fluid acrylics. Plus the colors are just beautiful. Now I say these are all golden fluid. I'm almost 100%. Almost 100. The manganese blue might be a tube paint. I'm not positive. I think they're all golden fluids, so don't quote me on it. But I really would like to hear what you guys have to think about the whole retreating within yourself idea, if any of you are like that, if any of you are also empath. And I don't say that to mean anything weird. It's a term that it's actually used quite a lot in the psychology community, I believe, and it just means that you tend to be very emotionally connected, especially to the people around you. So say, for example, an empathic person who considers themselves to be an empath, if they're in a room with people, say, well, for me, I can tell you, I can't go to funerals because I get overwhelmed with grief, even if I don't know the person. I've been to a few, maybe half a dozen funerals in my lifetime, and one of them was the spouse of a woman that I worked with, and I didn't know him. I'd never met him. And I couldn't stay. I was just overwhelmed. So you tend to feel the emotions of the people around you, and especially the real strong emotions. So that's just what I mean when I say that I'm an empath. Not that I read minds or that I believe in any of that. I don't. I'm a Bible-believing Christian. That is my personal faith. Not that I believe that anyone else should do that. That's just me. We are free to believe what we want, right? Okay, so that is titanium white base. I do have a couple of bubbles. I'm not going to worry too much about popping them because I do want some of the white to show through in this one. And you'll notice as I put the colors down, I'm going to leave quite a lot of the white showing, because I don't want this painting to be too dark, because I'm coming out of the dark. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I will tell you, one of these three are TLP, which are pigments, this little piggy pigments, and typically I put them in a container with a wide opening like this so that I can stir them up, because the pigments often will settle in the medium. This one happens to be a small enough tube that I could get my stir stick down in there and stir it up. So I do have some of these in the smaller, these smaller ones. Okay, so this is sapphire. This is this little piggy's sapphire. And you'll notice how very little paint it takes. So that's titanium white base, and then this little piggy's sapphire. And then I'm going to go with a little Payne's gray. I'm going to put the darker colors on the bottom and then lighter as I go. Payne's gray, this is Golden's Payne's gray. It dries almost black. It's like a gray black. It's so beautiful. Payne's gray is just wonderful. It's a gorgeous color. That's Payne's gray. And then I'm going to go with Prussian blue, which again is one of my favorites. Prussian blue, Golden's Prussian blue is very dark. Again, almost dries black. It's so dark. So I want to put the dark on the bottom here, just a little bit, because I am going to use a black top coat and I don't want it to be terribly dark. Then Phthalo blue, this is the green shade. You guys are familiar with this because I use this on almost every painting that has blue in it. I love Phthalo blue. There is also a phthalo blue that's a red shade. And that's not this one, this is the green shade. Want a little bit more of that one in the painting. And then this is phthalo turquoise, which is beautiful. Oh, so pretty, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Oh, these blue and green colors together. So pretty. And if you're watching this for the first time, I know it looks like I'm just throwing paint on the canvas, and technically I am, but there is a method to it. I think I know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna say that for sure. Okay, so this one this is TLP's billabong. I do need to stir it a tiny bit more. I stirred it a little before I turned the camera on, but apparently I didn't get it quite enough. So this might have a few bubbles in it, but that's okay. In this style of painting, because I spin it so much, typically if there are any bubbles, they spin themselves right out. Because there's a lot of spinning. There's a whole lot of spinning going on. Speaking of a whole lot of... What's your favorite song? Who's your favorite artist? I know that kind of came out of the blue. I'll tell you mine. I have quite a few. Hands down, forever and ever, always and always, number one, no one can ever take the number one spot, is Elvis. I am a huge Elvis fan. No one will ever be able to take that spot. So I kind of don't, I don't count him because he's always number one. Sort of like the New York Times bestseller list, the Bible's always number one, so they don't have it on the list anymore, which I find interesting. So number two. It's so hard. It's so hard to choose one. This is TLP Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is gorgeous. Very shimmery. Oh, so pretty. Well, I'm gonna say Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd. I can't decide. I don't know. One or the other. Okay, there's Blue Eyes. And then this is the Manganese Blue. These all are very similar. There's a method to it. The Blue Eyes and the Manganese Blue are very similar, but this is a golden fluid acrylic and Blue Eyes is a pigment. The pigments tend to kind of disappear a little bit and just show their shimmer in this style of paint. And I did want a little bit of light blue shimmer in here, so that's why I chose that one. Okay. Couple more bubbles coming to the surface here. I just want to pop them real quick. You've heard me say it before, I'm going to say it again. One of the things I love, love, love about this style of paint is there is very little waste. I don't spin very much off the canvas. Okay, this is my black top layer. This is what's going to make the cells. This is not the top layer that has Australian Floetrol in it. This is totally different. This just works with the weight of the pigments. I do have some that I use the Australian Floetrol, but this is not one of them. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to apply some air. Always cool, and this will be set on high. The link to this blow dryer is in the description. Also my stir sticks, my silicone stir sticks, and my little torch. That link is also there. I get most of my canvases at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and sometimes I get them online. So cool and on high, and I'm just going to apply some pressure to that top layer and get the pigments to separate and drop and make some cells. So let's see how it goes. Okay, now I've got a few cells popping up. I'm going to spin this and see if I can get some of those bolder cells in the center. Let's see what happens. Spin it just a little. A little more air on the top there. Okay, I've got a good amount of cells going. I'm just gonna kind of be still for a moment. Let it do its thing. I'm gonna go around and do the edges while this is percolating. I am gonna bring you in closer so you can see what's going on the canvas as soon as I get this done. This is kind of the far away version. I've had a number of comments, both saying talk more and talk less. I do love to teach, so this is kind of my effort to, this is like the teaching version, and then I have some that are close up that are just music and the creative process. I'm so scared to try that new. But every time I've ever had a dream about anything and I've tried to do it, it's come out so great. I don't know why I'm so nervous to do it. I'm finding that I'm procrastinating and I'm not daring to put the paint on the canvas yet. I'm being a little bit of a chicken. I will do it. I will do it. It's just, I gotta get the gumption up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna do this corner a little bit right here. And then I'm gonna spin it a little more. I might need to tweak it a tiny bit, but I'm still trying to get some real big cells in the center and then the small ones around the edge. So let's spin this and add a little more air in the center here. So this is definitely lighter than I was worried, because I put so much of the black top layer on it that it would be really dark, but it's definitely lighter. That's good. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, I'm gonna see there are a few bubbles here and there. I'm gonna pop them. Not many at all. So I've got the big boulder cells in the center, and then a few big cells, and then lines of tiny cells, which is just so delicious. I love the big ones that when they get all warpy and they stretch. Let's spin it one more time. And I'll bring you guys in for a close-up. You can see, if you look on my spinner, there's not very much paint that has spun off. It's because I didn't overload the canvas with the paint, and I didn't go all the way to the edges because I knew it would, with the centrifugal force, it would pull the paint to the outside edges, so I didn't need to put a ton of paint, or any really near the edges. So a little bit is spinning off, but not a lot at all. That's how I know I did it right. That and, oh, it was really neat. Wow, I think I might be done. I'm just going to test the thickness of the paint to just be absolutely certain that I don't have too much paint in the center, and I don't. Don't want it too thick in the middle, because if it's too thick in the middle, it will never dry. And what I've also found is that if there's too much paint, because this is a canvas and it's not a cradled wood, it's actual a cotton canvas, even with as much stretching as you do, and as you do all the back prep and everything, it still could sink. It might be a tiny bit of a dip in the middle, and if you've got too much paint in the center of your canvas, it'll all go, and all your cells will be distorted. But I think I'm going to spin one more time, and I really think this is it. This is what I was going for. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your comments on this piece. Oh. Every time it doesn't fail. It does not fail every single time. It amazes me. Let me see what the... Okay. I'm going to have you guys look at it that way, because I think that's the composition is there. Okay, I'm going to come over there, and I'm going to turn the overhead light off so we don't get a huge glare on it. And then I'm going to pull it in a little bit closer so you guys can see what's going on the canvas. Very pretty. Okay, let me see if I zoom this guy in a little bit here. There we go. What do you guys think? Pretty amazing, huh? You can see all those beautiful cells, and the ones that are kind of distorted and stretched out a little bit. I love those. That's amazing. This is still my favorite style of fluid art. I just can't seem to get enough of it. And when I'm in that retreat mode and I'm feeling that overwhelm or a sense of I just have to get away and I just have to retreat, kind of heal myself, this is where I go. This is what I do. This is my therapy, guys. Awesome. And that center with that, oh my gosh, you see that phthalo? Okay, super pretty. Oh my goodness. I hope I didn't just make you guys super dizzy. Sorry. So sorry about that. Okay, well there it is, another abstract cellism piece. I hope you enjoyed the process, and I appreciate you and thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to your comments. Let me know what you think of this piece, if you like the colors or the style. Let me know your favorite artist, not art, but music art. And I know we can have a conversation about that if you want. It's up to you. So I'm looking forward to your comments, and let me know what you think of this piece and whether or not you enjoy the process. I enjoy the process so much. It's wonderful. That's why I want to keep sharing this with you. So thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you found my channel. I don't know how you did, but thank you for subscribing. If you haven't yet, please do, and do share so that others can see this, and hopefully they'll subscribe too and get a little daily jolt of endorphins. Because this is what it does. It makes me so happy. Can you tell? Oh, I'm so happy. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget, it's little K reminding you, just go make the art.